Yo, what's up? This is Max Berger, and in this video we'll be talking about how to start an online business, and more specifically how to start an online business as a coach, consultant, or service provider. And as you can see, this is a very casual video. This is not some highly polished Lambo driving, cool, fancy, quick cut, epic music kind of stuff that you might see on the internet. No, we're actually literally just chilling here, having some time off, and I wanted to give you a step-by-step guide that is real, that is honest, and that is transparent on how to make money online and how to start everything. So you can be very excited about that. Over the last couple of years, I myself have been working as a coach, first in the dating advice branch, later on in the business advice branch, made several $1 million as a coach, and I've also taught my clients how to go for 4 to 5 figures a month. Some of those clients are now happily being their own boss. They enjoy their own freedom business, being coaches, consultants, or service providers. So this is very, very important for you. Now, this is gonna be a little bit of a longer video because I wanna go into detail here and really teach you the steps to get there. So let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? My name is Max Berger, and I've attained that freedom. No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you.
Now, first and foremost, you might be asking yourself, well, why did you mention coaching, consulting, service providing? What if I want to sell a product? Absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I know out of my own experience, starting a business by selling a product, a physical product, but also info products, is very, very difficult because usually you have to create the product first. It takes you a lot of time. You have to put in a lot of effort. You cannot validate the product until you sell it. You don't know if people end up buying it. And most of the time it also costs you a lot, especially for physical products. You're sitting on a lot of costs before you even make your first buck. So there's a lot of risk involved, and you have to, again, invest a lot of money beforehand. With coaching, consulting, service providing, all you do is you're selling your own expertise. So you're not sitting on any costs. It's very, very low risk. And even later on when you scale, you don't have a lot of costs. And by the way, I'll talk about this in a second. What if I don't have an expertise? We'll talk about this in a second. But again, remember so far that products is not a good way to start a business, especially if you're not fully experienced in it yet. Way easier is going for coaching, consulting, or service providing. Now, also, next misconception here is you need to have a big brand. Now, I know it, you might watch this channel here. We have, 16,000 subscribers now. You might know me from Instagram, where we have several thousand followers, etc. You don't need a big brand at all. In fact, again, most of my clients are completely unknown. Nobody knows them, yet they make 4 to 5 figures a month. They can do that because they know a couple things well, those things that I'm telling you here. So don't worry if you don't have a big brand. You don't need a big brand at all. Later on, you can always start building a brand once you're already starting to make money, once you're already serving your clients, once you're already scaling. But for starting, you do not need a big brand at all. So in order to start a business, you first have to understand the language of money. And no, you don't have to learn finance. You don't have to be this absolute pro in understanding business models whatsoever. Let's keep it simple here. All you have to know is the following. Write that down. Money follows value. Okay, this is another misconception. Many people think like, oh, but if I do an online business, it's all scam and it's all weird and la-di-da. No. Very, very simple. Money follows value. If you're able to give value to certain people in your target audience with their expertise, they will happily give you value, all right? It is impossible to build a long-living, sustainable business on the basis of scamming people and tricking them. It's not possible. You may make a quick buck every now and then, but at the end of the day, you can't build a scalable business, okay? Yeah, there has been things like BitConnect. Those guys made a couple million. At the same time, what is a couple million over a lifetime, over 30, 40, 50 years when you want to support a family, you want to support a certain lifestyle, right? You have to understand that money follows value. You have to sell something of value in order to get money. Understand that, right? So how easy is it really to start making money as a coach, consultant, or service provider? Well, first and foremost, you don't need a degree, okay? This is something that many Central Europeans talk a lot about, Germans, Austrians, Swiss people, they're like, oh, but I need a degree, I need a black and white degree that says that I went to a college and that I sat in a classroom for a couple of years in order to have this degree now. At the end of the day, again, most of my clients don't have a degree at all. There's some clients that have a degree and obviously they learn to monetize that, but way better than they would have ever made in the traditional sense. But most of my clients don't have a degree at all. I myself don't have a business degree, yet I made a couple million. I myself never had a degree in psychology whatsoever, but that didn't keep me from teaching dating advice and giving real value to my clients. Here's the thing. The average client doesn't give a damn about your degree. The average client wants to see what's in it for me. Okay, when somebody comes to you with a certain problem, they want that problem fixed. All they want to know is, can you fix my problem, yes or no? A degree is something that we falsely assume is necessary so people believe that we can help them. Not at all. If you're able to give expertise and really help somebody and give real value, you'll get money. With or without a degree, doesn't matter. And again, you don't need to go to business school to understand business. You don't need to study finance to understand the language of money. All you have to do, pay attention to the next sentence that I'm about to tell you, all you have to do is being 1 to 2 steps ahead of the average person. Be 1 to 2 steps ahead of your target audience. Ideally 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, right? But you get it. All you have to do is be a little better than the average person that you could teach. You don't need to be a 5 times gold medal winner in Olympic weightlifting in order to teach someone proper technique on lifting and becoming more healthy with their nutrition, right? You don't have to be a certified nutritionist in order to help people how to eat healthier. If you have your own expertise about that, your own experience, you're good to go. So what is the first step then to start building your own business? The first step is, now that you know the basics, is the following. Number 1, find your strengths. And this is crazy because, again, we always come into this idea of building a business with the notion of, oh, but I have to be a pro at that. I have to be a professional. I have to have years and years of experience with that. That's not true. Again, 1 to 2 steps ahead of the average person. Many times, all of us, everybody, you watching this video right now, we've been through challenges in our lives. You know, maybe you've overcome a difficult divorce. Maybe your parents have gotten divorced and you coped with that. Maybe you've overcame a disease. Maybe you've dealt with trauma. Maybe you've learned how to find your dream partner. Maybe you've lost weight. Maybe you've built great muscle. Maybe you've built a funnel. Maybe you've learned how to do photography. Maybe you've learned how to build websites. There's so many smaller skills that we pick up throughout our lives, so many challenges that we're literally forced to go through throughout our lives, that there's so much money in that. Because if you've gone through a difficult divorce, if you've lost weight, even though you were very, very unhealthy, then there's always someone else who's going through that struggle right now, who would be dying to get your help, who would be more than happy to give you money to be helped by you. So you have to understand it. You don't need to be a certified whatsoever. All you have to do is understand it. What are some challenges that I've overcome in my own life? And is there someone who might be facing that exact challenge right now that I could help with? Right? It really is that simple. Now, again, you can do that in a professional way too. You can have someone assess your strengths. This is something that we do on free consultation calls. We literally have clients who didn't even know what they wanted to do before, but we assessed their strengths, and now they're coaching, giving real value to their clients, making good money. It's very, very interesting. Again, all you have to understand is, what are the challenges that you've overcome? What are your personal strengths? And then from there, you take the next step. You switch your attention from you to other people. So finding your strengths leads to finding your target audience. So now that you kind of know what challenges you've overcome, what are you pretty good at, where can you give some value, understand is, who can I give that value to? What is my target audience? Let's say, for example, over the last couple of years, you've learned how to overcome your own video game addiction. You know, you've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft, and then you've overcome that. And maybe you've helped a friend get out of that as well. Now you can say, okay, well, what kind of people can I help do exactly the same? And then you kind of dig a little deeper. You do some research on Facebook groups, on forums, etc. And you can see, okay, there's a pattern. Usually it's, you know, young men in their 20s, in their mid-20s, who are struggling with video game addiction. I can definitely help them. So now you kind of pinpoint down what is the person that needs my help usually on average. And from there you can create something that we call a client avatar. Client avatar is basically the average person that you can help, the average person that is dealing with that problem that you can help them fix. And then what you do then is you get to know your target audience. You get to know how they speak, what kind of exact struggles they're facing on a daily basis, what keeps them up at night, right? How do they try to deal with that, and what are the challenges that they're facing when trying to deal with that problem? So you get to know your target audience. And then the next step from there is fix their problem. That's another big misconception. People always think about, oh, I have to fix all kinds of problems for them. I have to fix so many problems. I have to be an absolute expert in all these things because then I can help more people. But here's the truth. If you can help many, you usually can't help anyone really. So really focus on one big problem in your target audience that you can then help fix. okay? So again, their problem is they want to play all the time and they can't get away from it. Again, to stay with that example of the target audience being addicted to video games, right? They can't stop playing video games because they're too addicted to it, right? You fix that one problem. You're not going to help them fix their video game addiction and build a great social life and find their dream partner and then also stay healthy. No. You're going to fix that one problem, how to get away from video games and get a real life. Simple, done. Okay? And then ask yourself, how can you fix that problem? What are the steps that I could help that person go through? What would be the first step? What would be the second step? What would be the third step? And so on and so forth. And then the next step is very, very simple. That is reach out, give value, and sell. And the crazy thing is it can all be done online nowadays. You can literally sit at a cafe like we're doing now. You need your smartphone, maybe your computer kind of makes things easier, and you reach out to these people. You reach out to your target audience. You give them some value. You can give them some value via the DMs, by posting in the group. You can give them some value by literally jumping on a Skype call with them. Give them some value and tell them what you offer them. You tell them how to bring them from point A, where they are right now, experiencing their problem, to point B, their ideal target situation where their problem is fixed. Okay, so again, you bring them from where they are right now, having the problem, dealing with it, trying to deal with it, to no more problem. You're now happy. You can literally tell them, okay, this is what we're gonna work on. I'm gonna bring you from here to here. This is what it's gonna cost. This is what you'll get. Let's do this. Okay, now obviously there's a little more depth to that. We don't have time to go through all of that in detail now. But what you gotta understand is that this whole idea of selling is not at all a big deal. Okay, people always think like, I'm not a salesman. I haven't gone to the sales academy. Really, with sales, it's very 80-20. You need 20% of knowledge in order to get 80% of the results. And selling is, again, very, very simple. And if you already give them some value, you can already show that you have expertise, okay? You don't need to have a big brand. You don't need to be this like well-known expert. All you do is you give them value so the potential client sees, hey, this person has some expertise. They can really help me. You can even give them some value first, have them implement it, then they see this works, and then you can reach out to them again. You can follow up and say, okay, now let's do this. Let's work together over a long-term basis. These are my rates. Let's go. And it's very, very simple. Again, you don't need to be a master salesperson. You will very easily get your first, second, and third client. And by the way, on a side note, imagine you get your first client like that. You give that client some really good value. What is that client gonna do? Gonna leave you a testimonial. You know, maybe they leave you a 20-second video after they're done, after you fix their problem. You say, hey, can you shoot a quick video just for my other clients, telling them if you liked it or not, and then they give you a testimonial, a written testimonial. You can screenshot that, you know, again, with their permission, right? Now, how easy is it gonna be to get that second client once you already have proof that you've helped one person, right? Now, how easy is it gonna be to get the third client if you have 2 great testimonials, and so on and so forth? And literally by word of mouth, you can make your first couple clients. Isn't that great? And then later you can still think about building a brand around that, posting free content, you know, on social media, YouTube, Instagram, etc. And off you go to scaling. Really is that simple. And there's one more step that I want to tell you here when it comes to the actual coaching. And that is a really wonderful step, so pay attention. It's almost like a circle. Learn, coach, adjust, profit. We can literally paint a circle here, okay? It's very cool because, again, even if you don't have much experience or any experience at all as a coach consultant, get your first client, get your first test client, charge less if you really want to, charge less for that first client. And as you coach, you're learning together, okay? So you're learning how that client responds to certain things, how that client can execute certain things, maybe where does he need a little bit more time, where do they need a little less time, and so on and so forth. And as you're learning, you're already coaching. And as you're coaching, you're gonna adjust a couple things, you're gonna tweak a couple things. And the great thing is, as you're doing that, you're already profiting, right? To get back to the earlier example where we talked about building a product beforehand. Well, when you build a product before, you have to build everything hoping to God that it works, hoping to God that people will be able to execute, right? But with this module, you're learning, you're coaching, you're adjusting as you go, you're already making money. You're literally getting paid for becoming better. You're literally getting paid for creating testimonials that then help you to get another client and so on and so forth. So now you're already making money. How psyched are you about that? How easy is it for you to get up in the morning and give your first test client or test clients some value because you're already getting paid? How easy is it for you to be really motivated about getting better because you're already getting paid? You have responsibility. How amazing is that? So instead of sitting there creating product after product, figuring things out, not getting paid, not having clients, not getting any feedback. You're literally making money, giving value to people. You see their happy faces, you see how grateful they are because you're fixing their problem. And all that because you followed these simple steps on how to start a business as a coach, consultant, and service provider. Anybody can do that. And I really hope I kind of opened your eyes now a little bit that you don't need to have this fancy degree. You don't have to be a business expert. All you have to do is understand what type of value you can give to whom and how you can do that. It's really that simple. Okay, so again, we've chosen this video to be rather real than fake cool because I just wanted to be transparent and share you the truth on how simple it can actually be. And the other thing is the following. Look, you might think that you're not ready. You might think that it's risky. You might think that you might not be good enough. All these things hold you back. And I know that because they've held me back over the longest time. And I was studying at university. I was about to become a high school professor for children in high school, teaching them Latin and English. That's what I studied. And God beware, God knows where I would be if I had finished that. I would probably be miserable. I'd probably not have a lot of spare time. I would not be able to travel the world as I'm doing right now. I'd not be able to do the things that I want to do. And I'm so grateful to be in this position that I can give others that value. And I'm so grateful to see my clients being able to give value to their clients, helping them fix their problem. It's really this like amazing cycle of positivity and value. And it's just such a great thing. So imagine where you could be if you had started 2 years ago building your own business. Imagine where you could be tomorrow if you start today. Imagine where you could be a month from now, a year from now if you started today. There's never going to be a perfect time for you. Okay, things are never going to be perfectly aligned for you to start. Things are never going to be quiet like it is right now. It's always messy. It's always weird. But that's fine because fortune always favors the bold. Because only people who really do things, who decide, I'm not going to do things perfectly, I'm going to start, learn as I go, and grow through that. It's always those people who eventually get results, right? That is rant, and now if you want to get started and you want to say, hey, I don't want to do it alone, I want a little bit of help, then you can actually jump on a free consultation call with either me personally or with an expert from my team. All you have to do is click that link down in the description below. That link brings you to an application form, and on that application form you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. That call is entirely for free, even if it's international. We can even analyze your strengths. So if you don't know yet what exactly you want to do, we analyze your strengths and help you out. If you already have a skill where you say, I have the skill, I can help people, but you don't know quite yet how to monetize it, give us a call as well. We'll help you out. All right, so maybe talk to you very, very soon. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry for the noise. GG, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.